Hi, this is Glenda. A couple of people asked me to show how I made my LED cards, and these are the ones I've done so far. So as you can see, it's not a huge number. They're so much fun to play with. This is all I've done, so you'll have to bear with me if I'm not all that competent with it. If you are into electronics at all, I suggest you stop watching. It will only make you cringe. These are fairly rough and ready, but they work for me. That's all that matters. It's just a card. So I'll show you my method and hope I can remember. I've just done one and I struggled because it had been a couple of weeks. I've been waiting on my delivery of the little LED lights, and I've ordered 2 batches from China. One came and one didn't. So the moral is, do not spend too much with any one supplier. I'm only out $5, so if it doesn't come, it's not the end of the world. The other batch I got was good value. So I'll show you what my method is for doing these. So you will need a button cell battery and an LED light. In our local $2 shops you can sometimes get these cards. It doesn't matter what size they are, you just want a little coin size, so you want flat and large, and that's easiest to work with. So I mean, this packet has 3 different sizes. They work out to 25 cents each. You don't have to spend a fortune, but you do have to keep your eyes open for these packets with the big ones. Now the LEDs, I mean the packet I got, 200 for about $8. They worked out to 5 cents each. The local electronics shop for a flashing one like that was $6 per light. There's just no comparison, so I got into AliExpress. There's lots of dealers there, and that's where I got mine, because I just couldn't afford to make them at Australian retail prices. So you need the battery and the light. You also need some aluminium tape. The original demo I saw used foil, but this I found a lot easier. This, sometimes you'll see it everywhere and sometimes you won't. I got this at Aldi. I don't think it was one of their regular things. I think it's something they got in. It's the metallic sticky tape. The hardware store will sometimes have it at a pretty inflated price. I have seen it in $2 shops. It seems to come and go as to whether they'll have it. But that's what I've used. And I think that's the main things. So the first thing you do is your card front. So I've done a couple of these nativity ones, and the carriage that I showed last time, and the light bulb. I'm not sure how well that's showing, but the other suggestions were headlights. You could just do it in a star, because this is in the star of the nativity. You'll just have to think of birthday candles. Could be a light on a bear's collar or something. But anyway, you do your card front first. And then you work out where you're going to put your light, and you punch a hole the right size. This one, the smallest hole on my crocodile, is just right for this light. You don't want it to go all the way through, you just want it to pop through like that so you can see it. So it sort of widens a little bit at the end there, and you don't want that bit to go through. Excuse me. So we're going to put our front on our, in this case the base, or whatever you're going to put it on. Get it lined exactly where you want and trace through your hole. Work out where you want them to push, which is where your battery's going to be. So for these I've been putting it about here. So then just put a little cross there where you think you might want your battery. Oh, the other thing you need, if I can find it because it's clear, is a little piece of acetate packaging. So all I've done, that's a little strip, and this was actually a box, so it already had a fold in it, but you're going to put a fold towards one end, so you want a long end and you want a short end. Then the foil tape, I cut it into a strip, and this is where it got tricky because I couldn't remember what I'd done. Just trying to get the back off. So on your strip, on the inside of the long piece, now let me think, this is where I really got myself tricked. Yeah, on the inside we're going to run the tape. Now it's absolutely crucial that you don't tear this tape. It can be creased, it can be bent, but no tears. So I'm just going to put that along on the inside, wrap it around, that won't matter, and pop that one down for a moment. Then I'm going to actually cut this a bit narrower than I have on the others. It was the last bit from a bit I'd already cut. Again, to get the backing started. Okay, now we're going to run it from where our light is going and across to where we want our battery, and I've torn it. Wouldn't you know it? It's the only time I've torn it. That's probably because I've made it narrower. Try again. So from next to that dot where the battery is, and actually you can just come across like that. If you're going, say you wanted your mark down here or something, you'd have to come sort of down and bend it round. And we're going to put the battery on there like that in a minute. Now, they have a positive and a negative. The longer one is the positive. So remember when you open it out, which one was your positive? It's hard to tell once it's open. That's my negative. It's the negative of the battery, so that's going to go there. So my negative is going to go on there like that. So you put the light right on your little dot. You put the negative wire on top of this foil we've just put down, and whack on a bit of sticky tape. Now I'm going to bend this up a bit and come back with this piece. So this is our switch, so we're going to fold that ignore what I did before. After I tore it, I managed to put it on the wrong side, didn't I? I did say I hadn't done many of these. This goes on the inside, which is what I said, but not what I did. Okay, so that's the inside. We fold it in half like that, and that's our switch. I'm sorry if this sounds convoluted. The battery's going to go there. That's going to come down on there like that, and it's already made contact. So we're going to come across with this. You will have to put a twist in it here, and don't tear it. So if we just get that back there, line it up, we can twist that round carefully, and we're going to bring the foil down like that, and we're going to tape that on, and that's going to work. I told you not to watch if you knew anything about electronics at all. Just snip that off. So as long as you've got this wire only touching this piece and this wire only touching this piece, we're all good. Now the battery, we're going to make sure it's lined up where you want, so you've got a good connection, and again we're just sticky taping it down. Just make sure you don't get tape where it's going to interfere with this connection. Sticky tapes come undone, come off the roll. Now I'm going to put a bit of tape over the switch here, hold it down, and a bit more tape across the battery there. Check it again. It's all working, so that's sweet. So then all you're going to do is put foam tape all the way around, and this, where's my light gone? This should fit it over perfectly, more or less perfectly. Okay, so I don't want to put foam tape around here, because it's a really good idea if you can put slide a piece of paper in so that you can stop it working when you're posting it, or before you've given it to somebody. If it's in storage, you don't want it sitting there making your battery go flat, because it doesn't take much pressure to make it go, so you want to be able to slip a bit of paper in. So I'm going to put foam tape down there. I was going to get out a smaller roll than this for filming, but I forgot. And that's the bottom there, so across the bottom and up a lot of the side. So then I want my adhesive, can come across to just past the star. And so I used a double height just to allow for that battery. Okay, then you can put another little piece just in the corner if you like, but that's the mechanism all done. So for this one I just finished it off with a Merry Christmas sticker, and I put a star over where you want them to press. I haven't always done that. On this one, the star, this big star, is over where you press, And on this one I didn't. I thought, let them work it out. You know, they can press up here, nothing will happen. I don't know, I may still put a spot there. So you decide whether or not you want to put some sort of marker to show where to press or not. As I say, put a piece of paper in so that the battery doesn't start getting wasted until you're ready for it to. And that's my take on how to make these cards. I'm sorry it's not very professional. As I say, I've only done this small handful of them, but I refined the method slightly to what I saw originally online, and a couple of people had asked, so that's me sharing it, and thank you for watching.